Good morning and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Edison. We're certainly glad to have you this morning, and we're certainly thankful for BTC Fiber, our sponsor. You can see us on channel 18 of the BTC Fiber cable channel, or you can watch us on BTC Fiber YouTube page. Go there, like us, and subscribe. Would love to have you as a subscriber. Today we have with us Cameron Layne, and he's with Cambri Hemp, right? I got that right? Okay.
Absolutely.
Making sure. So we're certainly glad to have you, Cameron, and we want to talk about your business. Of course, it's a fairly new business. How long have you been in business, actually?
Since March of this year.
Oh, okay.
And formulating our own products for about a year now.
Oh, okay. So you do some of your own.
We absolutely do.
Well, great. Now, what? Without getting into private details, how does that work? How do you what do you do to formulate your? Do you take certain things and put it together? How does that work?
So we're actually going to take raw cannabinoids. They're going to be in isolate form, so they're separated for us to use. We're going to take individual cannabinoids and put them together in formulations. So, for instance, CBD isolated would be about a 98% pure CBD. So we could use that in a formulation without having anything else to contradict it.
Right. Well, now, excuse me. With your that, I know a lot of people are concerned. You know, they get concerned about the CBD and the hemp and all those products about showing up in blood tests and all that. What's the deal with that?
Well, primarily for a drug test. THC is one particular cannabinoid that is going to be tested for. So that's one that people are going to want to stay away from. It's going to cause a psychosis kind of feeling. And that's something that most people don't really want, and that's something employers don't want their employees to have.
Right.
So that's the one cannabinoid they test for.
And so with that, I know some products are made without the THC or lower amounts that don't affect.
Precisely. That's why we separate the cannabinoids, so we can isolate only CBD, for instance, and have no THC in the formulation.
All right, and that's better because I guess health-wise and for the person as well.
For the person.
And they don't have to worry about things like a blood test and stuff like that.
That's exactly it. They know exactly what they're putting into their body, and that's what's important for the consumer.
Right. Well, that was one of my questions. If you do your own products, so you've answered that. What kind of products? You have several products here. What kind of products do you carry, and could you go over some of those with us?
So one famous line we carry is Cat's Naturals, and she's actually right here in town.
Right.
And we definitely love her. We carry Lazarus Naturals pet tinctures. So it's going to be salmon flavored and a flavorless. And of course we carry Delta 8 products. We're going to have Delta 8 edibles, pre-rolls, and pins. Then you're going to have the lotions right here, CBD cream, professional strength.
Now, explain that. Is that for for the joints and the muscles?
Absolutely. You can apply it topical directly to the skin.
Oh, okay. Well, that's neat. That's neat to know. And that kind of is it like a soothing agent? It soothes the soreness and the pain.
It is. She's going to have cannabinoids in there as well as other plant materials. Like she's going to be using limonene and I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. But anyway, it helps with the joints. And the edibles, explain some of that. Some people might be interested in that.
Okay, so these edibles are going to be formulated with Delta 8 in them, and they're going to be ranging from 20 to 250 milligrams. So Delta 8 is something that people are going to be using for pain relief and sleep relief.
Oh, okay. So pain relief and sleep.
Absolutely.
So really, it's really a more of a helping someone actually.
It is. Product. Really, primary focus of some of these products is to relax.
Well, that keeps people from necessarily having the bad idea that it's a drug, and you're going to be a druggie or that type thing.
Right. That is a true concept. Gateway theory is that concept of becoming addicted to certain things, and so understanding addiction is important in all these things. You know, what is addictive and what is not addictive, and how many pharmaceuticals are addictive. You know,
right?
And luckily, these things are not actually physically addictive. So, very good about that. Yeah, you have a natural cannabinoid system in your body. So even if you're not a partaker of cannabis, you still use cannabinoids in your daily routine.
Well,
so understanding that system is important for a lot of people.
Well, I know a lot of people. Of course, I've had a lot of health issues in my past, as well as many others. And if you don't understand how things work, then you could be eating something you shouldn't, or doing something you shouldn't.
It's true.
You know, that will actually mess up the process
even further. Yeah.
And so it's I guess education is a good thing.
It's key.
Do you try to educate some of your customers as to what these things do and what they don't do, and what to expect, what not to expect?
Absolutely. Anyone that wants to come in and ask questions, we love that. And we've been dealing with cannabis for 10 years. So we definitely have an array of information that we can share.
Well, there's a lot out there, I know on the internet as well, but it helps if you have someone like yourself who's here that deals with it on a daily basis and understands it a little bit better than maybe me reading something on the internet saying, then I may not quite understand.
Right. That is what we want to be, is a place for everyone local to be able to come to and access information about cannabis.
Well, that's good. Now, you said you've been open since March. Has the business increased any, or can you see any level increase in your business?
Exponentially.
That's great.
More than we expected, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, of course, anytime you open any business, you're not sure how it's going to go, and not sure if it's going to be a success or failure. You just don't know.
It was a gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't know how to gauge it at first, but the community's been really nice.
Well, good. This community is good and nice to help new people and new businesses and so forth. And that's good that you're able to be with them, educate them, because like I told you on the phone the other day, this is an area that I'm not really familiar with all the ins and outs of it, and it would be interesting for me just to learn the information, so I would be better knowledgeable.
Well, come on down. We'll talk about it. Yeah.
Well, we'd probably do that. Let's see. Well, tell everybody where you're located, because that'll be important for people to want to know where you're at.
We're actually right down by the liquor store, across from Circle K.
Across from Circle K, right? I saw your store the other day, and I was up that way, and of course I'd seen it before, but I didn't realize it was actually your store.
Absolutely.
Well, that's great. And if someone wanted to contact you, how would they contact you?
So they can contact us on our email. It's going to be cambrihemp@gmail.com. You can call us at 423-414-8361, or just come visit.
Or come visit. Let's see. Well, we talked a little, and we don't want to get into too much of the about the medical. We talked about the medical, but I know I've seen some. I believe it was the CDB about helping diabetics, some form of it. But I know you don't want to get into a lot of. You don't want to make promises that you. I understand that, but there are some health effects to this.
There really are, and it lies in the fact that your body naturally uses cannabis. So there are correlations there to understand about cannabis that can't be claimed per se.
Right.
But they are there.
Right, and to every person it might be different anyway.
Precisely.
Just because it might work for me in one way, it may not work for you in the same way.
It's important to talk to your physician and your own personal doctor. Be very open about that. You don't want anything to interact with anything else.
Right, because you may have some medicines you're on that might interfere with what you take.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the case in all medicines, really.
Exactly. Chemistry is chemistry.
Well, and what brought you to this point where you wanted to do this? Had you been doing your research on it for a while, or?
Honestly, in 2011, I started my first company, and it was Tennessee Hemp Company.
Uh-huh.
And that was in 2011. We couldn't sell anything. The Farm Bill wasn't passed until 2018. But there really wasn't any movement in the hemp industry until 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So the company that I'd started, Tennessee Hemp Company, could really go nowhere. And if I had just stuck with it, I would have entered into a market.
Uh-huh.
But I actually let that go. I let it go for about 10 years. And so at the end of 2020, with everything that had been going on and some other cards aligning, it just kind of made sense to go back into it. So 10 years later, I started another hemp company.
Well, do you, I know with Cats, at Cats Natural, they produce a lot of their stuff. Do you grow some of your stuff? Or?
We've actually been working with local hemp growers to access flower.
Oh, okay.
Because we want to be that outlet for a lot of local growers, and so in the future we want to move towards growing our own things and processing our own plant material. What we process now is local plant material from other farmers. So we want to move into both.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know Kat, when she started small and then it just boomed. So, it is a growing business.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right. We have interruptions all the time. But, so you do work with local farmers, and I know I've noticed that there's been more local farmers in the area that are starting to in this business.
Yeah, they really are. I think in 2018 you saw an influx of growers, and so with the market after that, you had too much in the space. Way too much hemp in the space. So I think it's kind of curved out to where people can get into it, and it's not an overexposed market at this point. And people that really have wanted to grow their whole life or just finding out they want to, now's a good time for them to do that.
Well, and is it very expensive to get involved in planting the hemp themselves?
You have to become licensed with the state. It's going to be a minimum of $250 at a minimum of 5 acres. So you can grow less than 5 acres, but that's the least amount you can pay for.
Okay.
It's going to be $250 just for the license. But I think it's worth it. I think it's fun. I think it's full of information. It's a good hobby for someone to do.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Well, if they're going to do it, just for themselves.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of I've seen shows where people go out in the woods to hunt for hemp. You've seen these shows on television where they go out and they'll look for the plants and dig them up.
I'd love to do that. I'd love to do it overseas.
Yeah.
Strain hunting.
Yeah. Well, do you have, as far as competition, do you have a lot of competition locally around in the area?
Only gas stations.
Oh, yeah.
Basically. But I'd advise against not knowing where your product comes from, basically.
Right.
That's about it. But other than that, no competition. And of course, we would love to see any kind of hemp store pop up. But in Chattanooga, you're going to have 20 to 30 hemp stores, and not one within the 50-mile radius of this valley. So we definitely saw an opportunity there.
Well, I know a lot, like you said, a lot of the gas stations carry this stuff, but you're not sure where they comes from because it's just like any product they get. You don't know where it's been worked up, and you
Yeah.
don't know what all's in it necessarily.
Right. And it's going in your body. And so those things matter.
And you really have no adverse, you don't have a way to get back at that gas station if you bought it from them. It's just a product for them.
You might just be out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, if it had any adverse reactions, what are you going to do?
Forbid it doesn't. I hope for the best it doesn't. Yeah.
But that's well, other than the gas station, like you say, other than yourself and Kat, do you know any other local growers that you're aware of? Not just on a personal basis, but people that are doing this in the area.
We've actually only met a couple.
Really?
It was, I won't say difficult to find local people, but I think they try to stay under the radar because there are a lot of reasons, theft and all this stuff. Try to stay away from all that. But I encourage a lot of local growers, if they see this or anything, to definitely come towards us, and we would love to have your plant material in our store and work with you in the future,
Well, you have several different companies here represented, right?
We do. Cat's Naturals, like I said, local. Snapdragon is going to be in Hickson on 153. And then Lazarus Naturals and Puro are both from the West Coast.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So that's different from... But it's good that you can actually do local, like in Cat's and this Hickson, that's... You're doing the area.
We did want to say local. Yeah. And another reason we wanted local flowers, because the same reason that people try to locate honey for the pollen, you can practically do the same thing with hemp. It'll have local pollens on it. So you can take advantage of that.
Oh, that's neat. That's different. That's a different different way to look at that. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
And with the local pollens, that would be different.
It's very true. And my eyes were only open to that recently. That's something most people really don't consider. It's true.
Well, before long you might have your own Sequatchie Valley version of hemp.
We do have our Cambri Hemp product line.
Oh yeah?
We do.
Well, good. That's great. Because that's good to know, because that way people can get out and get your name out there. I know I saw you at Valley Fest with the group, the local entrepreneurs, and that seemed to be a success. They had a lot of people come by the booth.
They did. They're an awesome group of people, though.
Yeah, and I met a lot of them the other day and got to talk to them, and a good group of people. And we're actually going to interview quite a few of them. But I like I say, your selection of stuff, your quality. That's the thing people want to be involved with, is the quality. They want to make sure that everything is on the up and up. You're not just a fly by night, and I know you're not. But
you bring up an important point, though. I don't want to forget, is something that someone should know about is a certificate of analysis, and that's going to be a lab test of any product that you ever find in a cannabis store. You're going to be able to scan the QR code, or you can just ask for a COA, and it'll show a complete test of what is in the product.
Oh, okay.
So that's actually the apex of health. You definitely want to look for a COA for any product you want to put in your body.
Right.
Because that's going to be broken apart in a lab. So whether you're at a gas station, no matter where you're at, ask for a COA, because it's going into your body.
So we want to tell everybody to come to you instead of the gas station, right?
Anyone, you can go to anyone, just get a COA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's important to know, because I didn't realize that as well. And I've seen scan codes forever, and you can scan products, on your phone and stuff. But
yeah,
I didn't realize that.
On most products, it's just going to be a website. It's going to take you to something else. But for most cannabis products, the COA is going to be located in a QR code on the product.
Oh, that's good.
But you can always just ask. They should always be able to provide a paper copy. So,
okay.
Absolutely.
Well, that's great. And y'all do that, and I know I wish y'all well, because I know you're doing well right now. And you're surprised at the reaction local.
We are.
And,
hoping we can keep up, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, not so good.
Yeah.
But we're learning.
Well, and that's a good problem to have, I guess.
I can't complain about that for the most part.
Well, it could be that you're going to grow and, where you'll have to go on to bigger and better things. I mean, as far as employees and other things like that.
One could only hope.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Cameron, is there anything else that maybe we haven't covered you'd like to tell us before we close?
Nothing I can think of. I just want everyone to be safe and just come give us a try if you have any doubts. At least come talk to us.
Okay. Well, that's great. Well, again, thank you, Cameron, for being with us today, and we appreciate you being here and displaying your array of products that you share. So remember, Cambri Hemp, across from the is it Kangaroo Circle K?
Right next to the liquor store, across from Circle K.
All right. So be there and go by and ask questions if you have any questions. Again, thank you. Hey everybody, this is Glenn Edison from Valley Views. We appreciate you watching our shows, and we would like for you to like, share, and follow us on Facebook, as well as like and subscribe to our YouTube page.
Brought to you by Bledsoe Telephone Cooperative, your full-service telecommunications provider right here in the Sequatchie Valley.